Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Replay Megaman 04. In the last part, we did 3 stages in a row for once, and also, we got access to Ragnarok. And now, it's time to end off the series. It's finally time for Ragnarok. I'll transfer you inside. Try to find a way to disable Ragnarok's core without destroying it. If the core is destroyed, Ragnarok may break apart. With both Vile and Kraft gone, who could still be running Ragnarok? Zero, I have a bad feeling about this. Just be careful, okay? Alright. This mission? Yep. Ready for transfer. Transfer! Zero! Zero, this isn't good. Ragnarok is speeding up. If you can halt the core now, you might still be able to stop it. Hurry! Now, one thing I'm going to do that's a bit different this time around is I'm actually going to give my opinions on the game during this final stage, because I want to give my opinions on the series in the credits. 04 is actually my second favorite in the series. Its gameplay is a bit of a mixed batch, I'll give it that, because while I miss the elemental chips from Zeros 1 through 3, the Zero Knuckle thankfully does give a good enough variety of the weapons you can use that at a point it kind of balances out. Storyline-wise, it's decent, though I think it's missing out by the fact that they didn't use any of the 3 Guardians that were left. But I understand why they did it. They probably couldn't think of any way to use them. And if they were to be in the story, they probably would have been playable characters, so that's a lot of programming stuff they would have had to do. Music is a mixed match as well, because there's some great melodies in here, and the final boss theme we're going to be hearing in about 12 minutes is great, especially, but some songs are just plain forgettable. Overall, second favorite game in the series, I highly recommend it. You can get it on Game Boy Advance, the DS Collection, and it might be on the Wii U Virtual Console by the time this comes out. Either way, now it's time for the boss rush. Intrude decided. You defeated Commander Kraft. You? I'll rid this world of your presence. What did Kraft entrust to you? The future of the foolish human race? Commander! Yep, it's time for the boss rush if you haven't noticed. And unlike 0, 1 through 3, this one's probably the hardest because you fight all 8 bosses at once. So you don't get like an optional little thing you can farm enemies for in between the first 4 and second 4. This time I will crush you. With you gone, Ragnarok will destroy the world. And Area 0 will be 2 then. Sorry, I don't have time for this. Get out of my way. It's too late. Even with me gone, Ragnarok will still cover the land. You and everyone else will be crushed. Yeah, by the way, the song is from Artinacal Melody of Olemia, which if you haven't played any of the Artinacal games, I highly recommend them because they're some of the best RPGs on the PS2. The third one's a bit meh, though. Left like this, we're both going to meet our ends by slamming into the ground below. I'd hate to let the ground get to you first when I could have the pleasure of crushing you myself. Kya-kya! How could this be happening? Why did I have to taste defeat at the hands of someone like you? Unbelievable. Simply unbelievable. You see, I'm so used to reading speeches like that I'm not even going to comment on that one, really, because people really underestimate game protagonists in terms of how powerful they are, no matter what the genre. It looks like even death is too good for me. Death is the defining moment for a warrior. I'll not lose to you. Zero, if you want to stop Ragnarok, you have to stop me. If you can't beat me, how can you protect the world? Show me the power that was able to defeat Phantom. Ugh. There, that's it. Go. There's no need to see my pathetic death. Go, Zero. You see, I like this. Maverick Hunter X would do something similar, where you actually see that the fact that the bosses aren't all brought back by their own will. Some of them are forced to. I immediately think of this game and, well, Tech Kraken and Maverick Hunter X and the way it handles the boss rush. Yo, looks like our favorite hero's in a hurry. Don't be in such a rush. Stay with me and watch the end of the world unfold. Haha. You're really tough when you put your mind to it. Your little victory won't stop Ragnarok. I'll be waiting to fight you again on the other side. Ugh. I've always actually really liked Fenrir Luna Edge. I don't know why. Maybe it's his design. Maybe it's the fact that he's actually somewhat of an honorable warrior, all things considered. I don't know. Ragnarok is the seed of destruction which will ripen and fall from space, carrying with it the end of this world. It's perfectly natural. Everything on this earth was born doomed. No! Impossible! I won't be able to witness the descent of Ragnarok. I'll try and enjoy this final glimpse of the world before it ends. You see, personalities like that, I've always absolutely hated, so I feel no remorse in destroying that robot. Mind you, I don't like bosses that can heal in general. Mind you, that's pretty small healing, but still. The satellites falling from the sky are like the Maverick Wars all over again. It really is Ragnarok, the end of the world. You stand on the threshold of your annihilation. Why? Why struggle when you know Ragnarok will bring about your destruction? Ugh! It's actually a fun little thing about what he said with, like, the Ragnarok being the end of the world. Both the Einherjar warriors, Ragnarok, and even some of the names of the Mavericks are all inspired by Norse mythology in this game. Fenrir is the most notable thing, with him being inspired by Fenrir, the big wolf that Loki had. Are you in a rush? It doesn't matter, it's already way too late. You've got a date with some fire. How can you be so calm? The world is ending! You should be more worried and sweating all over. You'll be blown away by Ragnarok! I'm exploding. And with that, the boss rush is done and over with. Like I said earlier, it's probably the hardest boss rush in the series because you have to go through all 8 Mavericks. Or Einherjar warriors, sorry. Mavericks is pretty much just verbal tick at this point. But you have to go through all 8 of them at once, which is the only time they do that in the Zero series, but it's still not that bad. You get a decent amount of energy, and lives aren't that uncommon in this game. There's usually, I think, 1 in every stage you can find. And if not, then you can easily farm for them in the Area 0 stage. That was the second intro stage, so not a very hard boss rush. In fact, the entire final level isn't that bad, though the final boss, while it's not the longest in the series, might be the hardest in terms of pure difficulty throughout. Because even Omega, while he was the longest final boss in the series, only his 3rd phase was really that hard. Also, yeah, in this section of the stage, which is actually the final section of stage in the game, as you can't tell by the fact that Ragnarok is falling onto Earth, as you can see in the background, there's a lot of Axeloids, so if you want to use their ability, get it. I get it just in case I needed it. I don't think I even used it during the final boss, though. But it is the most powerful one in the game, so get it if you want to use it. That's probably my only kind of tick with the Z-Knuckle abilities, is that while there's a lot of them, only a select few of them are absurdly useful. Either way, let's see who the final boss is. So this is the Ragnarok core.
Welcome to your front seat for the end of the world.
That voice, Dr. Vile? How did you survive that attack from Ragnarok? Oh shit.
Survive? That's easy. Because I can't die.
What happened to you?
Did my mechanical body surprise you? Did you think that I was a Reploid and you could fight me? I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I'm pure human. Even with a body that looks like this.
How?
When the Dark Elf took control of the Reploids and destroyed the Mavericks in the Elf Wars, the humans of the time modified me. They transferred all my memories to program data, and switched my body for this armor with the power to rejuvenate me. Do you have any idea what that means? I can't age and wound heal more quickly than normal. After the war, I was cursed to live an eternity in a world without light or nature. The humans expelled me from Neo Arcadia. Justice, freedom, worthless ideals. You Reploids are just machines, but you started a war a long time ago in the name of freedom. And humans, look at what they did to me. Driving me away while spouting the word justice. Zero, would you insist on saving them? Controlling the Reploids is nothing. The destruction of all mankind is only fleeting. Not quite alive, not quite dead. Forever by my side. I'll make you suffer a fate far greater than anything ever experienced before.
Well, even in your current state, you probably wouldn't be that hard of a fight, so let's go. Why are you glowing? Why is that glowing? Oh boy. Well then. This has got a bit harder.
I'll teach you there is no place for fools to hide. Fools must live under my rule and my rule alone. Thanks to Ragnarok.
Time for the final boss of the Zero series, and it is, of course, against Dr. Vile. Phase 1 is difficult, but at the same time doable. He has a lot of projectile attacks he likes to spam, be it those little purple balls, which he really likes during this fight. Some meteors, which you can dodge in very simple ways, but my favorite attack is one where he actually, well actually this one right here, he summons the 8 bosses from 0-3. The Gentle Judges, they each do a set attack, and they're all pretty easy to dodge, with the exception of, I'd like to say Cubit Foxstar is probably the hardest part to dodge. I think on easy mode, he only summons 4 at a time, but in normal mode and above, he does all 8. The one thing I need to warn you about in this fight is, first off, bring all 4 sub-tanks as full as possible, because he does hurt. You might be able to take down his HP pretty quickly, but he hurts you more than you do him, more often than not, so be careful. Though, admittedly, while this attack is cool the first time, in fact, it reminds me a lot of Metal Shark player, god, I hate that name, from X6, and the fact he can bring back certain characters from past X games, and Phoenix Magnian from 0-2, who could bring back some guys from Zero's past. I always love attacks like this, I'll be honest. But repeated showings of it in the fight get kind of annoying because, well, he can... It's pretty much delaying the fight. Also, fun fact, I've never seen that attack before. I think he also has an attack where he steals your health, but I rarely ever see it if he has it. So yeah. Vile, not a terribly hard fight, but he will probably still give you somewhat of a troubling time your first playthrough. Not me, though. I'm used to him. But at least you're exploding, and stay dead this time, please. Oh wait, shit, I already said phase 1. Whoops! Ah! I can't stop the descent! Zero! Reaching critical speed! If it goes any faster, I won't be able to get you back! Hurry!
No. This isn't over yet! Vile! I told you, I can't die! Nobody can stop Ragnarok now!
Zero! There's no time! Get back here!
No, there is a way. If I destroy Vile's core, the explosion will take Ragnarok out with it. If Ragnarok is blown apart, it no longer poses a threat.
But what about you?
Are you even capable of it? The Reploid hero, protecting justice and humanity. I am one of those humans you were sworn to protect. Do you have it in you to defeat me? I never cared about justice, and I don't recall ever calling myself a hero. I have always only fought for the people I believe in. I won't hesitate. If an enemy appears in front of me, I will destroy it!
Zero! Zero!
CL, believe in me!
Zero! By the way, those lines that Zero just said are a reference to the ending of 01. Final boss fight against Dr. Vile Phase 2. First off, you can only hit the little sphere he's in, only when the little, very phallically shaped thing in front of him is not in front of him. Attack-wise, he actually doesn't use my favorite attack, sadly, which is where he fires a giant laser where you have to actually hang onto the giant horn at the top with the Zero Knuckle in order to dodge. He does a lot of his attacks here, I won't lie, but a lot of them are fairly obvious to dodge and how you do it. The one thing is, to this day, I'm not sure what happens when the time runs out. It's probably just a death, because I've actually never lost this fight, unless I just died to pure damage. My best advice to you is do as much damage as you can. Have Quick Charge 3, because it really makes dealing hits to him a lot easier, because you'll have to be able to do a lot more in a lot less time. And keep your sub-tanks ready, because he really does hurt. He is a formidable final boss. By the way, I absolutely love his theme song. It's called Falling Down. Really signifies that it's kind of do or die time. Speaking of which, Vile, it's time we end this. So, Ragnarok's likely dealt with, but what about Zero? Hey! He's probably gonna be fine then. Ragnarok is breaking apart. Ragnarok has entered the atmosphere. Most of it will burn up on entry. Impact with Area Zero has been averted. Mission successful. Zero! Come in, Zero! Zero, please, come in. There's no response from the receiver. The connection has been lost. CL! Oh, a shooting star! Wow, look, a lot of shooting stars! No, those are pieces of Ragnarok. Does this mean we're saved? Craft Zero. Did you reach Zero? Zero, why? How could this happen? After saving all of us, and just when humans and Reploids were finally coming together. What do we do now? It's okay. I'm sure Zero is still out there. And one day he'll come back to us. CL. And, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the Zero Saga. I really enjoyed redoing these games for you guys, I'm not gonna lie, because while I really do like my original LPs, they're the first times I started doing voices for things and such, they are definitely not up to my par of quality, so I just wanted to redo them and give them the proper treatment. And how are these games? They are my favorite Mega Man series as a whole. Don't get me wrong, my favorite game in the franchise is still Classic 6, but as an individual series, this is the one I always go back to, especially Zero 3. The thing about the Zero series is, it actually has a story that's worth a damn as a whole, because when you look at Classic and X, it's always blank is evil, stop him. Whereas in these games, you get plot twists that are pretty decent for the platforming Mega Man games. And you actually learn to care about these characters to some extent. Hell, look at what... Heck, CL definitely did. I mean, look at her, she's crying. By the way, I should mention, in the Japanese version, there's actually a slight difference to the credits theme here. They added lyrics to it. I'll have the entire Japanese credit sequence at the end of the video, so check that out there. But yeah, also, that is the end of Zero as a character. He doesn't show up again unless you count the Biometal in the ZX games. He just has really bad luck with dying, doesn't he? X1, X5... This... Yeah, wow. Not many characters can say they died 3 times in the same timeline, unless you're a Marvel character. Or DC, for that matter, actually. But, yeah, would I recommend these games? Yes, absolutely. If you can find a way to play them, especially the DS collection, go for it. I know almost all of them are on the Wii U Virtual Console at this point. Heck, by the time this gets uploaded, Zero 4 probably will. So I recommend, if you can afford them, find them, go for it. They are some of my favorite platforming games of all time. Well, run and gun, technically. I cannot recommend them enough, and I hope you give them a try. In fact, I want to hear your thoughts on the game or the series down below in the comments. I love reading that kind of stuff. Anyway, if I'm remembering the song and credits correctly, time for some final words from our good old heroine. Zero, you believed in us. Now, it's our turn to show you that your faith in us was not misplaced. Watch, Zero. I'll make this world a better place. One where humans and Reploids can walk hand in hand, living in peace. Just come back someday. I believe in you. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey again. I might do the ZX Gibbs if I can ever do them, but until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next Let's Play, which will be a bit more motherly, to say the least. Enjoy the Japanese credit song, and I'll see you guys then. Oh, damn it. Every time those songs start, Oh shit, it's still recording. Oh, this is awkward.